What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Despia Predaplant deck profile. This deck is really scary. It really is, and it's probably the best way to play the Despia moving forward, honestly, until we at least get like tier elements, because that's gonna change everything up. So yeah, a lot of spell cards, a lot of cards that people don't even read, because I don't know, man, Yu-Gi-Oh players reading is too hard. And yes, a lot of juicy combos that end on like 7 interruptions or something ridiculous like that. So before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch and Instagram. If this video can get to 1,000 likes, I will be making a live stream on this deck. And now let's jump right into it. So I'm playing 1 Ad Libitum, as well as 2 Despian Tragedy, and only 2 Aluber. Your normal summon typically isn't the Aluber anyways. It's always going to be the Scorpio. So that's the reason why it's not really a 3 of. And Tragedy is not great at 3 because we're not trying to play Allure of Darkness. You theoretically could, but I don't think I really recommend it. You don't want to lose to Droll and Logbird for no reason. And the deck is already very consistent on its own. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this lineup. And then Fairy Tale Snow, of course, because you can easily send it with the Albion. Double Fallen of Albaz, 3 makes no sense because if you hard draw it, it's not like, you know, it's not as good as in the pure Despia build. And we're also not trying to play Branded Lost, Tri-Brigade Mercourier, and all those cards that aren't really good at getting anything started, but rather good at getting us extended. Because again, we can extend or get started with the Scorpio or Predaplant cards. Yeah. Anyways, one Stay Still or Romarin. This is a light monster that you can Foolish with Branded Fusion when you summon the Albion. And when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can Foolish your deck for a plant monster. Typically the Biblisp, so that you can search the Scorpio that way. And since you haven't necessarily used your normal summon on something, you can normal summon Scorpio, discard a monster, summon the Cobra, and then search a spell card that has Polymerization or Fusion in its card name. So you can search Poly, you can search Super Poly, you can search Instant Fusion, and you can search Branded Fusion. Absolute ridiculous. And now, of course, triple Ejim Chain. This card is just always really good. Triple Scorpio, 1 Cobra, double Clamido Sundu, double Biblisp. But honestly, you can actually get away with only 1 Biblisp. I don't necessarily think you have to play like multiples. And 1 Buffalucolia. This card is a Pendulum Scale that is basically Monster Reborn for a Dark Fusion monster. So yeah, very, very good card. And we're playing 21 monsters with 22 spell cards. So Anti-Spell definitely can hurt this deck, but you can actually out Anti-Spell if you're going second. You can go normal Scorpio, pitch something, summon the the Clamido Sundu, and then fuse for the Guardian Chimera, pop 2 cards, and then draw 1 card. So you can still play even if you get Anti-Spell, but if you get D-Barrier, you're not really doing much. All you're really going to be doing is like Super Poly and like Banishment and Branded in Red on your opponent's turn. So you're gonna have to kind of grind it out. Anyways, for the spell cards, 1 Instant Fusion, this card can either summon the Ambulomelides, which is a 1-card starter on its own, so Instant Fusion is a 1-card combo, or you can summon El Shaddai Winda, which is very, very, very good in case you have Branded Opening in the grave, because it can protect yourself from getting destroyed on the end phase because of the drawback of Instant Fusion, and you can fuse it away on your opponent's turn for Guardian Chimera because it's gonna die anyways, and then pop cards, draw cards, summon back the Mirror Jade because of the Ad Libitum, etc. So now we're playing 2 Poly with triple Patchwork. This is also what we typically always see with the Despia cards, but you have more outlets, discard outlets in this deck because of Scorpio, always discarding a monster, which is typically the Ejim Shade. Triple Predapractice, so this special summons the Predaplant monster from your hand, and then immediately you search a Predaplant card from your deck to your hand. So you can also do some cute, I don't know, I guess chain blocking with this card or whatever, and it gets your engine started as well. Very, very good card, and as long as you have like at least 1 Predaplant monster, otherwise it's just going to be a brick. And another thing about this is that it locks you under Fusion summons only for the rest of the turn, if I recall correctly, but that doesn't matter because we only play Fusion monsters anyway, so yeah, it really doesn't change anything to our life. And then triple Branded Fusion, obviously 1 Foolish Burial, which can either send the Tragedy or the Stay Still or Romarin or the Biblisp or even the Fairy Tale Snow. So even more cards that you can Foolish in this deck than in the Despia branded deck. 1 Call by the Grave for slightly obvious reasons. Triple Opening, obviously, because it's always great to be able to summon the Aluber instead of having to, you know, normal summon it, because you want to normal summon the Scorpio. Triple Super Poly, again, obvious. Double Branded in Red, and 1 Banishment. So 44 card deck, I think the majority of these ratios are kind of like optimized, except maybe the second Biblisp can be cut, maybe the second Clamido Sundu could be cut, maybe the second Fallen of Albaz could be cut, and maybe the second Aluber could be cut, as well as potentially the third Ejim Chain. But for the most part, I'm really satisfied with this deck list, and I think if you play something like this, you should have a lot of success. Anyways, for the extra deck, it's also very, very simple because a lot of the cards are just 2 and 3 ofs. So double Guardian Chimera, double Mirror Jade, this is probably cap. You don't really need triple Drago Stapelia. I think 2 is great, but the third one can be something else. So yeah, if you want to play something that isn't like a third Drago Stapelia, which is gonna come up like once every 10 years, go for it. Double Lubellion, 1 Masquerade, which could also be bumped to 2 if you want to cut the third Drago Stapelia. Double Albion, because it's a great card to send off of the Mare Jade, and it's a great card to summon as well. 1 Winda, 1 Ambulomelides, and 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, because great target for Super Poly, and these 2 cards are just very self-explanatory. And for the idea section, I don't really have much to cover. Like, Triantis is a good card in case you have, like, exactly Bufolocolia and it, but otherwise it's not great. And then if you want to play Hand Traps, I don't really recommend it because the deck is already inherently good going second because of the Predator counters that you're giving to your opponent, so you can tribute your opponent's monsters. You can banish cards with Mare Jade, you can Super Poly away stuff. So yeah, going second is not really a problem, and the deck has a very high ceiling as well. A lot of extenders, and you don't really rely on your normal summon that much. Even if your normal summon gets stopped, you typically have other plays. You can special summon the Scorpio with the Predapractice instead of having to normal summon it. And you can special summon the Aluber with the Branded Opening, or simply just use Branded Fusion, use Instant Fusion, Bufolucolia, etc. So yeah, anyways, this card, Starving Venom Predapowered, bro, never freaking comes up. Trifu Verdum, good card for Super Poly target, or I guess it's an interruption going first. It can negate inherent summons, but it does nothing against Despia for obvious reasons. Nothing is an inherent summon. Everything is like a summon from a spell or a trap card or whatever. So it doesn't work. But it can go to like 10k attack or more if you give a lot of Predator counters to your opponent. And then 1 Cameraplegia that can search Super Poly on your opponent's turn. And random cards that will never come up. So that's pretty much it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.